It happens every single year around this time. The weather finally starts warming up and for sale signs start popping up like wildflowers. And suddenly, buying a home feels exciting again. You find a house you just love. You look at the monthly payment and you think, okay, we could do this. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Your monthly payment, your mortgage payment, is not the full cost of owning a home. In fact, it's usually just the beginning. And if you only budget for that number, you can end up loving the house while secretly stressing about everything else that comes with it. So, today I want to walk you through the hidden costs of home ownership that catches buyers off guard most of the time, especially my first-time home buyers. Because my goal isn't just to help you buy a house, it's to help you to buy smart. Hi, I'm Christine, owner of Wings and Roots of Utah, affiliated with Keller Williams Utah Realtors. And here on my channel, I help buyers make well-informed, confident decisions without all the pressure and the hype that usually comes with real estate. And today, I'm breaking down 4 major hidden costs of buying a home that most people don't really fully prepare for. We're going to look at closing costs, home maintenance, property tax changes, and something I call lifestyle creep. And by the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of what home ownership can actually cost, so you can enjoy your home instead of constantly feeling financially stretched. And if that sounds helpful, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, because I do post new Utah real estate and buyer education videos every week. All right, so let's start with the very first surprise expense. The first hidden cost hits before you even get the keys, and that's the closing costs. A lot of buyers do a great job saving for the down payment, but then they're shocked when they realize they also need thousands more just to finalize the purchase. Closing costs typically run around 2 to 5% of the purchase price. So on a $400,000 home, that could easily be another $10,000 to $15,000 out of pocket. And this includes things like your lender fees, your appraisal fees, title insurance, your prepaid taxes and insurance, your recording fees, and your escrow costs. Now, sometimes sellers can cover or will help to cover parts of these costs. But in a competitive market, you can't always count on that. So one of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make is stretching everything into the down payment without leaving room for the actual transaction costs. Because the reality is, you don't want to arrive at closing already financially exhausted. The second hidden cost is what I personally call the maintenance tax. Because when you rent, the landlord handles the broken things, the broken water heater, the filters that need to be changed, the faucet that's leaking. But when you own the house, congratulations, you are now the landlord. And this is where a lot of buyers kind of underestimate the reality of ownership. I usually tell my clients to follow a simple rule. It's a 1% rule. And that just means you should expect to spend roughly 1% of your home's value every year on maintenance and repairs. So, another example, if you buy a $500,000 home, you should realistically plan for about $5,000 a year in maintenance. And that roughly is around $400 a month. And may I remind you, this isn't HGTV renovation money, okay? This is things like HVAC repairs or plumbing leaks or maybe replacing some old appliances. Oh, fixing the sprinklers. We've done our fair share of sprinkler repairs, roof repairs, or other random things that break, at those worst possible times. Because homes are amazing, but homes are also very expensive toddlers. And if you are not budgeting for maintenance, you are not really budgeting for the house. The third hidden cost is one buyers almost never think about, and that is property tax reassessments. When buyers look at a listing online, they usually see the current owner's tax amount and just assume that's what they'll pay too. But that's not always how it works. If the seller has owned the property for years, their taxes may be based on a much older valuation. And once the home sells, the county may reassess the property based on the new purchase price, which means your taxes could increase. And sometimes buyers don't feel that impact immediately because taxes are rolled into your escrow. Then suddenly in year 2, the payment jumps because the escrow account came up short. Now, I've seen buyers shocked by increases of several $100s per month because nobody explained this part beforehand. That's why I always try to help buyers estimate what those future costs could realistically look like, not just what Zillow says today. Because I would much rather prepare you up front than have you be blindsided later. All right, now let's talk about a sneaky one. And I call this lifestyle creep. And honestly, this one gets almost everybody, my husband and I included. Because when you move from an apartment into a larger home, suddenly you feel like you need things for that home. More furniture to fill the space, more decor, more storage, more tools, more everything. You realize, oh, I need blinds for 12 windows now. Or you need patio furniture, a lawnmower, shelving for the garage. And somehow every Target run turns into, I just needed light bulbs. Why is this cart $347? It adds up so fast, especially in those first 6 months after moving. And this is why I always encourage buyers to leave themselves breathing room financially after closing. Because yes, you want the house, but you also want to enjoy living in it. So let's recap the 4 hidden costs of homeownership buyers should prepare for, because we covered a lot. First was the closing costs, usually around 2 to 5% of the purchase price. Your second is your home maintenance, budgeting around 1% annually for repairs and upkeep. Your third is your property tax reassessments, because your future payment may not match the current owner's taxes. And the fourth is that lifestyle creep. You know, all those little purchases that come with filling and maintaining a home. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is simply this. A comfortable mortgage payment does not automatically mean comfortable home ownership. And buying smart is just as important as buying the right house. If you are thinking about buying a home this year, especially here in Utah, I'd love to help you understand the full financial picture before you jump in. Not just the exciting parts, but the real world numbers too. You can find all my contact information down below in the comments. And I'd love to hear from my homeowners in the comments as well. I want to know, what was the biggest surprise expense you ran into after buying your home? And then if this video was helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's thinking about buying a home this year, especially if they think the mortgage payment is the only number that matters. I put out new buyer education and Utah real estate videos every week on Wednesday to help make that process feel a whole lot less overwhelming. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Christine, owner of Wings and Roots of Utah, affiliated with Keller Williams Utah Realtors, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.